So I think that we're going through the list of benefits to agribusiness going regenerative. And we mentioned millions of jobs would be created because of the demand for an intensive labor relationship of care with an organic farm, which is symbiotic. So it seems like we got the video cut off somehow, and so this will be the beginning of 1.2 under regenerative agriculture. I know that I wanted to share that fact along with the possible ending of the immigration problem, helping people throughout Central America and Mexico and beyond. Oh man, I should tell you a story about the Altiplano of Bolivia. The Altiplano of Bolivia is at 14,000 feet. That's where the major airport is. Where are we? Here we go. This is 14,000 feet. Our house for 3 years was at 13,500 feet. So I'm trying to remember where I was headed with this. Oh, yes. The entire Altiplano, which is a huge high mountain plateau of, maybe the size of like Texas. I mean, it really is huge. It's called the Altiplano, the high plain. And this, okay, they grow quinoa. They grow amaranth, which is similar. They grow mountain lupin, beautiful blues, and an occasional white, entire fields of blue mountain lupin, the highest protein grain in the world. By weight, I believe it is, the next highest protein available is in meat. They have llamas, right? They are able to get wonderful seafood from the Pacific Ocean and wonderful Amazonian delights. That's all I can say. I mean, we're talking everything from surubim, the big catfish that they catch in the river, and all the orchards, the mangoes and bamboo and different fruits, the bananas. All of this is traded with the Altiplano's grains, and remembering that the irrigation for all of this is colloidal glacial melt, so that it has minerals that are millions of years old in some cases coming down to irrigate, and then the USAID decided to, I think, intentionally, they decided to destroy this world in order to create a dependency on U.S. subsidized, ship food that is handed out like in El Alto, for example, the main city up on the Altiplano, where the airport is. I remember being there when there were about 6,000 people. Now there are 2 million. And the reason is that USAID gave away to these poor people the food which the farmers couldn't compete against. And so really nearly 1 million left the Altiplano and moved into El Alto, where this food that was given away was actually sold by Bolivians, at a low price. They were actually making a little money off of it, which is against USAID policies, but I saw that happening all over. But sure enough, because they could no longer compete with the produce now available in El Alto, the entire Altiplano has been abandoned pretty much in the agricultural zones, leaving only the grandparents usually behind. And this is one of the efforts of the new government of Evo Morales is to try to move people back into that world, which requires regenerative agriculture to occur. And I don't know how successful they have been. But this, if you want to read a book about this phenomenon of our government agencies destroying economies around the world, then read. This is just an incredible book. I could not put it down. The Road to Hell, with a subtitle, is paved with good intention. Actually, I don't think that's a subtitle. I just think that that's what you realize, that we're being told that we're helping poor people, with food. Look at what these people were growing. The best food in the world. I've had Bolivians, I lived there for 3.5 years, and I've had Bolivians say, we weren't hungry. But USAID is there. And now more and more these countries, Somalia and all these different places that have had this kind of food crisis occur because of chemical agriculture, these places are experiencing hell, which we believe as Americans it's all about good intention, trying to help these people out. Well, we've been taken again by those interested in the financial gain. Maintaining the farming culture of death, which even Republican conservative farmers in Kansas said to me was a sin against God. And it was just a shame that agribusiness had destroyed their way of life, and happened to be facilitated also by a Walmart that had come into their little community and just wiped out their ma and pa stores. So these Republican farmers that I met with took me out outside and pointed out, where their stores used to be, right? So I got to see the stores all closed up because of Walmart. But then they went on to say that Walmart closed their building and put a restriction on retail sales, and that they've done this with over 500 supercenters in the United States. Once they've wiped out the local economy, they closed that, and now these poor folk had to go 50 miles into Wichita. And Bob, they said to me, that ain't right. That's not really American. Those were my parents who had to close those stores down. That's why I boycott Walmart. And this is something that will change with the Great Mandate, because one of the demands is to end corporate personhood and to have corporations be under the primary control of stakeholders, like the people of the communities, and not the stockholders in charge of the corporation. It makes sense because we're all trying to work for the seventh generation. So with that, I think I'll close this particular section on regenerative agriculture. And I know that there's plenty of footage, videos on even the YouTube and about regenerative agriculture and the keyline plow. And so if you're interested in helping to reverse climate change and to end this immigration problem, check it out.